Hi everyone. Hi guys. Hi everyone. Again, welcome to First for Girls for STEM. Welcome, welcome. We are here again. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Girls for STEM, and welcome to Hangout STEM Hangout. So we are here. I've got a lot of guests. You guys are going to enjoy. So I've got John Toure, and he's going to introduce himself, and then we're going to start. But before we start, I just want to say we are here to recognize other scientists, engineers who are pursuing STEM. So that's why we are here, so we can hear their stories, so we can hear how they navigated STEM. So again, if you're coming here for the first time, thank you so much. Welcome to Girls for STEM. So we are just waiting for a little bit, few people, and then we should be starting very soon. Again, welcome everybody. Welcome to Girls for STEM. We are here to acknowledge other scientists who have navigated STEM and to hear their stories. So let's start. We are going to start with Toure. We'll let him introduce himself, and then we will go as it flows. So Toure, if you can introduce yourself, John.
Hello, everybody. Um,
Yes, we can hear you.
okay, that's good. Hello, everybody. I'm Jonas Ray Jr. I'm from Sierra Leone, and I'm a cybersecurity engineer, network security engineer, and software engineer.
Wow.
Okay,
Uh-huh. So, yes,
and
go ahead, sorry.
okay, no, go ahead, just go ahead.
Yes. Yes, you introduced yourself. So we just want to know, to learn more about how you navigated STEM. Because remember, we would like to acknowledge other scientists who are pursuing STEM, or those that have pursued STEM. Because remember, most engineers, this is a silent where most people, they don't discuss about it. They don't tell us how they navigated STEM. So I think it's a good way for our viewers, boys, girls out there, so they can see how did you navigate your STEM. So I would like you to share your story. How did you know that you wanted to pursue STEM, and how was it when you started pursuing STEM? So guys, I just want to tell you, John is from Sela. He's an engineer, software engineer. So we are privileged to have him. And let's hear from John. How did you navigate your STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics?
Okay. First of all, I'm a person who loves technology and who's curious to learn. And so let me just say, I was born with a mindset. Since I was young, I was like age five, and I started playing with computers already. And though it's really hard to like in this part of country, in this part of the world that I'm living in, like to be in tech and to attain all this creation that I have this level that I am right now. So yeah, it's really not easy, really. So I started when I was young, age five, and
Wow.
I was motivated by a neighbor.
A neighbor.
I used to yeah, a neighbor who influenced me into technology because he saw the potential in me and
Yes.
started saying, if you continue with this thing that you're doing now, because you're a smart kid and you know computers very well and you know technology very well, so you just need
Yes.
a little let me say a guide for you to
Yes.
improve, for you to establish. So I
Yes.
took his advice and started doing research on my own. So
Yes.
till I finish high school, about to go into university, and I chose to study computer science. But the
Yes.
curiosity that I have was for me to learn before I go to university. I already know how to like to get enough knowledge. So I
Yes.
started digging into computer science and hear about started seeing things like programming and stuff, engineering, all that. So I took the lead to learn before I go
Yes.
to university. And my first language, like I took the lead to go into coding, programming, enough programming, like coding, developing softwares, and like building things. Like when you come, you're like when you're a kid, you just know how to code, and you code like show your colleagues like, hey, I coded this program, like I wrote this code for by myself. So I
Yes.
already learned Python. So like the first
Wow.
time I went, yeah, I started with Python 2, then
Yes.
migrated to Python 3. Yeah. So that's how it all started. Then I go to the university and I study computer science. So my first year like was wow, this is what I was really looking for. And
Yes.
yeah, so I because of the curiosity that I have to learn advanced stuff, so I took YouTube as my another school, another place to learn. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
go
Yes.
research, yeah. So I doing research in YouTube. Like I finished my first year in school in university. I already learned about 10 programming languages, which I can code very well in, and
Yes.
can develop software with that languages. I can use them.
Yes.
So yes, so and going to year two after I've passed my first level at university. When I went to year two,
Yes.
I started my course a lot of things again, which I
Mm-hmm.
am like curious to learn also. So I studied that, I do research, and I come across the networking. What is networking? I was asking myself, like, what is networking? Is it
Yeah.
this thing too hard? Yeah, like I dig into it again, and I learned. I downloaded like watching videos, people
Yes.
publishing in YouTube, watching them, take them at, like when I finish when I off from school, I came
Yes.
home and studied them, watching tutorials, then get all the materials that they wanted for me
Yes.
to follow up with the courses. So I watched CCNA. I was watching CCNA, Certified
Yes.
Network Security Administrator. Yeah, it's a it's a Cisco cert. So I
Yes.
watched those courses and I got the knowledge. So by the time I went to year two when I was introduced to networking, I already learned that already. So
Yes.
like that's how yeah, and I moved to software engineering by like when you develop your building systems. Yes, so
Yes.
I moved to because I already know how to code. I've learned like 22 languages
Yes.
before before I went to the final year in the university. I already learned 22 languages. So I was working with a development team
Yes.
in the university school. Yes, I was part of the development team with export engineers, which they guided me how to like write it and encouraging me all that. So, but still, I was saying how I heard about this like security stuff, like security engineer. I said,
Yes.
oh, I want to do something different. Like
Yes.
just want to do something like my country is new to, like the security engineer stuff. It's really new in my country. That's what, like yeah, it's really new because we don't really offer courses here in my country. Security engineers. So you
Correct.
just need to learn it yeah by yourself. So I was watching this IPSEC guy. He's a YouTuber, he's a vlogger, YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, he gave me the inspiration, knowledge for me to learn that. So he introduced me to a platform which is called Hack the Box. It's a very
Yes.
nice platform which you can meet a lot of security professionals and engineers, so you can interact together. And they have also a channel in Telegram, so you
Yes.
can join the platform and you also join the Telegram channel so that you can interact with your colleagues, so you can talk.
Yes.
And that's how I get into it. But the first challenge I faced was that you need to pass the challenges before you get into the website, get yourself standing. And I said,
Correct.
wow, this is really tough. Yeah, it was really tough. So I tried like 2 months for me to pass the
Yes.
challenges. But
Wow.
yeah, and I didn't give up. So I till I conquered and I entered. I joined the team. So we started learning again, and till now we're learning. So like
Wow.
joining to the STEM is really not easy, really hard, but it takes courage for you to reach the level that you want. So now,
Yes.
as I'm telling you now, yeah, I'm a OSCP aspirant, offensive security certified professional. It's a certification which people seek out to do.
Correct.
Yeah, provided by offensive security. Offensive security is an institution which provide security staff certifications. So I'm studying now for that. I will be taking the exams next year,
Yes.
and finally I'll be welcome to the cyberspace.
Wow. You know what? It's so interesting. People have to learn that doing engineering or being a scientist, it's not that, we face challenges, but we need to share these challenges, and that we also have to be self-driven when we are trying to pursue this career. And it's good to share to the girls, boys, even those that are trying to pursue these careers, that it's doable. It's just, I see determination, I see the drive, you're pushing. And I think that's a common thing for most engineers and scientists. It's like you have to be looking for that rope. I always talk about the rope. For example, when you're looking for a blue rope, you have to be telling everybody, hey guys, I'm looking for a blue rope, I'm looking for a blue rope, until finally someone is going to say, oh, you're looking for a blue rope, it's right there. So it's like, for example, you're looking for a software, or you're looking for something. It's easy when you're mentioning it, people around you know what you want, and it's easy to help. And that's networking. You're saying networking, because most people, they have a hard time understanding what is networking, how does it work, things like that. No, thank you so much. We really do appreciate. And again, you guys, this is John Tourette. This is John from Cameroon. We are so glad to have him. So he just shared his STEM story, and also just how his interest sparked when he decided to do engineering. So, what would you say? Who's your role model, John? Oh, I think he's. Oh, oh, yeah, I think you're muted, John. So I think he's muted. Okay. Yeah, because we can't hear him. Maybe you need to unmute your mic. You need to unmute your mic. Oh, I think you're still muted. It got mute. You have to unmute yourself. Okay, let's do this. Thank you so much, John. We really do appreciate. So we are going to bring in Harrison Shangwa. Oh, John is coming back again. Oh, yes, John. Yeah, I was trying to ask you, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, so I was saying, who is your role model? What would you say? Who's your role model?
My role model is this guy Ipsec, the guy I told you that I was following in YouTube. Yeah,
Yes.
like he inspired me a lot. Because without him, like I would have been here today, like choosing this career path. But with his courage and his passion he has for security and want to transfer the knowledge to young coming. So
Yes.
like he's my role model, and I wish to meet him in person.
I know. Wow. No, thank you so much. No, thank you so much, John. We're going to bring in the next guest. We really do appreciate. So please join in so you can watch, other guests as they, share their story. So we're going to would like to bring in Zoe
Okay.
Kayanda. So let's see if she can come in. Hello, Zoe. Zoe, you are live, or maybe we can try to bring in Ashangwa. Ashangwa, you are live. Please let us know when you're ready. Ashangwa, can you hear us? Again, guys, whilst we're waiting for Ashangwa, we just want to tell you that we are here, STEM Hangout. So our guests, we have guest scientists and engineers. They are going to share with us how they navigated their STEM. So, hi, Harrison, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. I know you have so many things to do. You guys are busy all the time. And just to be here, I'm just so privileged and we are so happy. And my guests are so happy to see you guys to share your STEM story with us. So, Harrison, how did you get to where you are? First, I would say introduce yourself. And before you introduce yourself, I just want to say to my audience, please, if you have any questions, leave comments there. Whatever you want to comment, please. If you have a question, ask. These are our guests. They are here, so we can ask them questions. So, Harrison, go ahead. Yeah, so we are doing from different countries, you guys. So bear with us. I think he will be able to hear us. Yeah, it looks like he's maybe paused or something. But again, guys, we are here. This is STEM Hangout. We have some guests from different countries, and the streaming might be a little bit, hard time, but they will be back. So most engineers have a hard time to express themselves, how their STEM life was, how their how did they decide to become engineers, and also that also helps other kids, boys, girls, to also to pursue engineering. So we have guests here that we want them to share with us. So I'm going to bring in again Harrison. Hi, Harrison. You are live again. Can you hear us?
Hi, Kirsten.
How are you? Nice
Hello.
seeing
Can you
you.
hear me?
Nice. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Thank you so much. Nice seeing you. So please go ahead, introduce yourself, Harrison. Okay, I think he's still trying to get in. So let's see if he's going to respond. If not, so guys, whilst we're waiting for our guests again, it's very difficult sometimes. Most of the kids, young girls, they've never seen engineers, they've never seen these scientists, and when they are pursuing these careers, it's very difficult for them to actually engage themselves to ensure that they see themselves in some of these careers. So we're having difficulty with other guests. So let's see if we can bring in somebody else. Zoe. Hi, Zoe. You are live, and please introduce yourself, and then we'll let it flow.
Thank you so much, Kirsten. I'm so happy to be here and to be able to be part of a panel of great minds who are doing so much in the area of STEM. I
Yes.
was looking forward to today, and I'm highly, highly, highly humbled about being able to be in this platform. So, my name is Zoe. Oh, I could also
Yes.
add both. So, my name's Zoe Kuyanda. I'm from Zambia. And just to mention a few, I'm in the area of technology. So I'm currently majoring in software engineering and also something I've just begun to build interest in, which is web development. So I have grown up in Zambia and really I've seen the need to really push for STEM. Even though it's an area where men and boys have really dominated, it's also like a great thing to be able to push for the females, for them to also take up their spaces and see that they are also capable of being creators, seeing that STEM is actually the beginning of most creation and inventions that we currently have. So yeah, that's
Yes.
just a quick and brief introduction about myself and something I'm so passionate about.
Yes. So when I met Zoe, I was very, very encouraged how passionate she is about engineering, and I'm so happy to have you, Zoe. So, Zoe, can you tell us how did the passion for STEM start? Where did it start from? How did it start?
This is quite, but I'll try my best to enjoy. So actually, my journey began when I was in my second grade. So that was kindergarten, and I went to, so they introduced a new subject, which was ICT. So looking at, like, from the experience, it was open to everyone. It was like an option. So for me, because of my excitement about technology, about science, I thought, well, okay, this is quite a great opportunity to be able to just probably engage and see how exactly science gets to relate with technology in other new emerging trends. So I got into uh, getting an interest in computers, and from that journey, it just began to build up. And from most of the research that I began to do, it always just began to add up naturally. I don't know if I was born to actually be a fan of STEM, but I just feel things flow naturally. So after just having to engage with computers, I just realized I was able to do quite much with computers. So in my research, I began to understand science, I began to understand engineering and mathematics, which actually became my best and favorite subjects all the way from primary until secondary when I actually graduated to go into tertiary. So one
Yes.
other thing that has really built a huge interest for me in STEM is the many things that we're able to see today with
Yes.
complements to STEM. So when
Yes.
we wake up very early in the morning, we are told about, let me talk about exercising, which is something that is in science. So that could be the
Yes.
first activity that you get to do each day that involves science. So we begin to appreciate it from the time we step out of our bed. And we
Yes.
also get to, with technology, actually, we have these virtual reality items where, what example can I give? Alexa. So people have
Yes.
Alexa very early in the morning. They get to request what they want. It helps them in the activities throughout the day, all thanks to technology. So I'm just trying to give out a brief understanding of the impact that it now has today,
Yes.
because almost 80% of the things that we carry out, if we just get to reflect on everything that we do, we'll get to realize that STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are really driving most of the activities. So even
Yes.
with the knowledge of this, it's actually motivational to want to take up interest and just understand or learn or just give out the information you may have about STEM, because it is evident that without the knowledge or without the
Yes.
interest of this area of this subject, it will be quite hard for you to perform most of the activities throughout the day. We might not realize it because we actually
Yes.
just get to do things as the norm. But if we
Correct.
start to actually think and analyze the things that really drive most of the activities, we'll reach to a
Yes.
level where we actually get to appreciate STEM. So for me,
Yes.
really, it is what took me to a level of actually being a huge fan of STEM. I'm a huge fan of STEM, and I'm really excited that I'm actually playing a role in being able to engage other young people who have not yet had the opportunity or the chance to learn STEM, to be able to just understand okay what exactly STEM is and how exactly they can use it to impact the world and actually bring change.
Wow. Wow, that's so amazing. Guys, it's so good to hear how other people have navigated STEM. It's not good not to hear about it, but we need to acknowledge these scientists, these engineers who have, just invested so much time. They have this drive and so much passion. So Zoe, who would you say was your role model?
Unfortunately, I'm not so happy to be saying this because it's very important for
You are
someone,
not the only
a
one. You're
person
not the only one. I didn't have, but this is your time. So yeah, share it.
Yeah, okay. At the moment, I really do not have a role model. Like, there's no one I'm really looking up to be able to assist me in my journey in just um engage or building my interest in technology.
Correct.
Because in the STEM field, I've really just gotten to major in technology. I have interest in science, engineering, and math, but
Yes.
technology is what really has driven me. So, like, for technology, really, I don't have someone I can call a role model, which is something that is sad because when I sit down, I get to think, if I really had a role model, I think I would have been doing better than I am doing right now.
You
So,
know,
because
Zoe.
of
Yes, I'll tell you. When you said that, I felt the same way. You are still going through it, but I finished. So I felt the same. I was like, am I really doing the right thing? Am I really, is this real? Or maybe I've made a mistake, So I just want to encourage you that guess what? You will see the light is coming, trust me. And sometimes it feels like, because there's nobody who has done it, and it also feels like you're looking for this rock and you can't find it, and you keep fighting to to actually see
definitely,
it.
yeah.
But actually you are actually forming yourself. Actually, when you are done, you'll be so amazed and say, wow. So I was really forming myself, and this is how I've become. That's really, really interesting. So the other question I wanted to ask is, what is the most interesting part about your STEM career that intrigues you? I know you mentioned a little bit apart from, but what's the most thing that you just enjoy?
Sorry, Kirsten, I think I lost you there. Could you just rephrase the question for me?
Oh yes, I was saying, what's the most thing that you really enjoy about STEM, especially in your field? I know you did mention a little bit about it, but what's the most thing that you really do enjoy?
So, okay, I'm trying to get this right because I'm afraid I might have to ask you to repeat because
That's okay.
I'm
That's okay. Yeah, so I was saying, what's the most thing
so
that you enjoy about your field?
okay, let me try. So, is it like what I enjoy doing in the
Yes.
activities that I'm currently
Yes.
pursuing in STEM?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
So, one thing I've really got to enjoy is be able to discover all the emerging trends that we have in
Yes.
STEM. So I have seen this in um, at a business point of view. So one thing I've
Correct.
enjoyed is researching about STEM and seeing how much of an impact it can create in the society, the community, and also the world at large. So with regards to this, I have enjoyed getting to teach young people and just engage them in all the possibilities that STEM is able to offer them if they really got a chance to step up and decide to join the field of STEM. So I
Yes.
enjoy teaching young people, really. Like, I really do enjoy that. I really have a passion of teaching young people and just getting to engage them in this subject matter. So even with this, like, I have set up Girl Coders Zambia. It's something
Yes.
that I've really gotten to love doing. Like, I really love doing it because even when I'm telling something to someone about STEM, when I'm just letting it flow to make them understand about all the amazing things they can do with STEM, it's always
Yes.
something that gives me so much joy. So I also love to see young people being creators and not just people who are consumers of technology, who are consumers of engineering. I've always had the passion to just motivate them and tell them they can be creators. We have really used so many things that men have created. So why not us women make things that men can use and appreciate? So I've
Exactly.
also just had an interest in engaging the female folk, like for the women, just in order to in the area of STEM. So basically, it's motivating young people, teaching young people, and not forgetting the older ones also who might have an interest. And yeah, also just getting to recognize the opportunities that we have in STEM.
Wow. Wow, that's so interesting. And again, our viewers, parents, kids out there. So this is a STEM hangout where we can see how other people have navigated STEM, how, what really sparked their interest, and how are they doing? How are they feeling? How's the temperature whilst they're still pursuing STEM? This is to encourage the young girls, to encourage, the boys, to encourage even those that are already in other careers that want to pursue science, technology, and engineering. I'm a very good example of one um, who actually pursued engineering when it was when I was already older. I didn't pursue engineering when I was young. So I just want to encourage everyone that you can go for it, and you can do it. There's nothing that is difficult. We are all in this together. We face challenges, but it's a doable. So thank you so much, Zoe. We really do appreciate. And I'm going to bring in Harrison again. I hope this time he's good to go. Hi, Harrison. How are you again? Let's do this. So
Hi,
introduce yourself.
Hi, Kestin. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be sharing some thoughts. I mean, my experience in STEM field. So my name is Harrison Ashangwa, and I am a Cameroonian. So I'm from Cameroon, and I am an environmental engineer. I have a master's degree in environmental engineering, and I had a minor in civil engineering while I was in school. I graduated 2 years ago in 2019 with a master's degree, of course. And currently I work as a consultant, particularly on environmental issues and sustainability. And also I am involved with EduClick. EduClick is a social innovation. It's a program that is trying to encourage STEM, particularly among young people and girls in particular. And we are currently having a couple of programs in Cameroon,
Yes.
and it's really exciting. And I mean, I think, let me just share my background. Basically, from Cameroon, while I was in primary school, I was always good in mathematics.
Yes.
So I was always good in mathematics, and people always call me a medical doctor. I don't know why. They used to call me a medical doctor.
Yes.
Why I went to secondary school, I was science inclined. I'm always science inclined. I don't know why. None of my parents is science, but I was just science inclined. And I had some principles that were guiding me, like let's say, if you want to be a scientist, you will not take alcohol. So I grew up with some kind of notion like not taking alcohol at a very young age, and it's
Yes.
exciting. So basically that went on. I was good in mathematics, physics, the science subjects. In secondary school, I was really good. And when I went to high school now, I saw that my interests tilted away from biology. So I had to focus more on physics and mathematics. So I decided to go with engineering instead of medicine. So, so that's what happened. So after high school,
Yes.
my interest was aerospace engineering. So I was always passionate about aeroplanes, flying objects. I
Yes.
wanted to pursue a career in aerospace engineering. And unfortunately for me, there was no school in Cameroon that offered aerospace engineering. And
Wow.
I didn't have that exposure that I could go out of Cameroon, and then so financial constraints also. So I had
Yes.
to do with what was in the country, because
Mm-hmm.
in high school, I did very well. I mean, in the high school exam, I performed very well. And then
Yes.
the government there were entrance exams into engineering schools in Cameroon. So
Yes.
I sat in for one of the entrance examination, and
Mm-hmm.
lucky enough, I was selected. So out
Wow.
of 6,000, I was among the 200 that were selected
Yes.
to do engineering. So I went to school. I did civil engineering.
Mm-hmm.
I started with civil engineering, but along the line, I had to switch to environmental engineering because I developed interest in environmental issues, the challenges that we're facing around us. I mean, flooding, droughts, climate change. So I
Yes.
decided that no, I'll do environmental engineering to be able to address some of these issues using science and engineering. So
Yes.
so basically that's what I've been doing for the past 5 years. That's what I've been working on, designing engineering systems to
Yes.
address environmental problems, sustainability, and the
Eh,
rest. I'm also quite involved with educating young people, encouraging them to get into STEMs. And
And
it's really so.
sorry not to cut you. I would like to tell the audience, they invited me in Cameroon to encourage girls and boys to pursue STEM. I had so much fun. I mean, it was amazing. Yeah, I just wanted to point out that, Harrison. So you can go ahead.
Thank you. And it was really amazing because you saw the energy among young people.
Oh my
So so
God.
so it's really great to talk to young people. Unfortunately, in our time, we didn't have so much exposure, and I mean the resources that's available online and
Yes.
such programs like the one we have at EduClick, it wasn't available. So students now can learn about aerospace engineering. They can explore options. They can travel out of Cameroon. There are schools now in Africa that offer aerospace engineering. They can even have scholarships to go to the US. So all
Yes.
these things we are encouraging young people, and it's really exciting because the opportunities now are endless. And I think it's great. It's great that we keep on encouraging these young people to because I have realized that young people are really creative. You just need to tell them that I was actually talking to a couple of them, and
Yes.
the kind of ideas they had, it was really amazing. They just
Mhm.
need guidance and direction. And I mean, they'll really do much. And I think we keep on doing what we are doing.
Yes. And you know what? That's very right. And that's why my passion is to encourage girls, boys, to pursue engineering or science, because all they need, it's a little spark when they are young. That's all it needs. And that's why I say parents, we really have a greater impact in encouraging girls, boys to pursue engineering, science, and technology. And so I have a question, one more question with you, Harrison. So who would you say is your role model?
That is a little tricky because when you are growing as a child,
Yes.
I mean, my father and my mother, they don't have any science background, but I,
Yes.
I, I, I understood that my father was very good in mathematics. So
Hmm.
somehow my mother used to tell me that I'm just like my father because he is pretty good in mathematics. I mean,
Yes.
somehow I think my father is my kind of role model at an early age. But
Hmm.
when I started doing sciences in secondary school, I think the person I looked up to more was my uncle because he was a science teacher.
Yes.
So I think at, at that basic level, the person that has inspired me was my uncle, the
Yes.
junior brother of my father, because he did sciences and then he used to send me a lot of science resources, books, I mean, materials to study while I was in school. So that has been my role model. But nowadays, I think everyone that is into science, STEM is my role model. So I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
when we talk like that, it's really encouraging.
Wow, wow. No, that's really good. And you just pointed out about how, internet, I always want to tell parents and also just, kids that let's use internet wisely, even YouTube. So YouTube has got a lot of resources, but how can our kids understand YouTube in a way that they can use it wisely? So it's us as parents to guide them, to show them what to watch when they are still young. Otherwise, it's a world of so many things. We're using YouTube right now, but we need to make sure that we can show them how to use YouTube wisely again. So again, thank you so much, Harrison. I really do appreciate. I know how busy you engineers, scientists are, and just to spare some time to come and do a hangout here, it's just so amazing. I really do appreciate. So my next guest. Thank you so much, Harrison. So my next guest is going to be Sela Kasepa. I'm sure you guys, I don't know if you've heard about her. She's one of the uh, STEM guru. So, hi, Sela. Hi, how are you? Can you hear me? Can you come in? Hi,
Hi.
I'm so excited to see you.
Hi, can you
Yes,
hear
how are
me?
you?
Okay, perfect. Like I'm trying to
Yes,
like center my camera. It seems like I'm off the thingy, but
yes,
yes. Thank you for having me here, Kirsten.
yes.
So my name is Sela Kasapa. I am currently a software engineer, working as a software engineer at Microsoft, and I was a computer science
Microsoft.
major. Yeah.
Yes,
And I was a computer science major in college, graduated just last year. So I was just
yes,
working recently. And I was born and raised in Zambia. So yes, so that's like a brief introduction of me.
yes.
And
Oh,
yeah.
uh-huh.
And I'm not sure if it's like a specific question I have to answer or just
Yes. So I just wanted to know you introduce yourself. So how did you navigate your STEM starting from Zambia up to where you are, and where are you right now? Are you in Zambia? Are you in United States? Where are you?
okay. So yes, for some reason, can you still hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. I can hear you.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, yes. So I was okay. So I'll just tell my story and how I got into STEM. So I was born raised in Zambia, and initially, I think I'm going through like a whole like array of like things I want to do. I would like as a kid, I would be a doctor, seen because. Maybe that there's doctors everywhere. I'm like, I want to see, I want to be that person that's always taking care of me. And then went on, realized I loved math so much.
Yes,
Then I decided I want to do something like accountancy, like something that makes me just like work with numbers all the time.
yes,
But then what got me intrigued with like STEM was so my dad is a refrigeration artisan, and so he
mhm,
does like fridge repairs, AC installation, and whenever he'd be like repairing a fridge, he'd usually like have like someone helping. I might be helping him, and it was just a thing of like working on something and just being able to like fix it and see it work again, and that was always like exciting me. And so yeah, so basically like so my dad, I give credit to my dad for like sparking my interest in like STEM, right?
yes,
So I started exploring like, okay, what field can I pursue that would allow me to like work on things, just do things with my hands, and so I decided
yes,
I would consider doing engineering. And
yes,
early on was I developed fascination with planes. So I was like, I probably might want to do aerospace engineering and work on planes. But I went to college and um, I then so you go to college. So when you go to college, I think like so like our first year we usually like told just take any class, just like be free, take any class
yes.
that you want to take and
Explore.
explore options. Yeah. And so I took my first CS class in college, my first like computer science class in college, and I loved it. I was just like, oh my goodness. It's how like the work you do just like quickly and easily translates to something like tangible that you can see. Like one night you're
Yes,
reading a website and boom, it's on like a web page and you can view it. And like for the longest time, computers were just like this unknown, like kind of like black box to me. And then
yes,
taking computer science is where I felt like something that had felt so foreign and strange and just out of this world to me was like something I could actually understand, something I could tinker with. And
yes.
so like I decided I'd take, so I was thinking, so initially I was like major engineering, minor computer science. Then I eventually switched that up and said, I'm just going to focus on computer science. And
Yes.
so then decided I was just fully going to major in computer science, and henceforth graduated as a computer scientist, and yeah, now working as a software engineer.
Wow. And if you guys don't know Sela Kasepa, she has done a lot. I was reading about her a long time ago and I invited her on LinkedIn and it took so long. So when I saw her, oh yeah, she accepted. I was so excited. And she pursued engineering at a very, very young age, you guys. So she is just an example of many, many kids who can pursue engineering, who can pursue, software engineering. She has done a lot of projects, programming projects, things like that. So that's just amazing. Just so happy to have you. I know you're a very busy person, but you decided to come hang out with us here. And my audience is really, really, really excited to see you. So what would you say, who is your real role model?
Yeah, I feel like with everyone else, that's like a hard question. I feel like it's like changed over time.
Yes,
Definitely my parents. Like they've always been there, like be it with like the stick telling me to study or just like sparking my interest in things I just never thought I could do.
yes,
And then like growing like early on, I was so enthralled by like Nelson Mandela. I
yes,
read his books and everything. Just like his sheer will to like persevere and persist despite the challenges around him like that faced him.
yes,
And like there, so I kind of like I felt like I identified a bit. Like of course, like my journey hasn't been as revolutionary and as like interesting as Nelson Mandela, but then just getting the like excitement and encouragement to say, despite the odds that face you, despite things feeling like they're out of reach or like there's so many obstacles in your way, like just never
yes,
lose your resolve and just always continue pursuing them. So
yes.
yeah, I definitely look back from time to time to Nelson Mandela in
Yes.
shaping that part of me. I'm still looking for my engineering model on that side, but yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Me too. I would say I didn't have someone when I was doing, manufacturing systems engineering. I didn't have anyone. I never even saw anyone who has done even like my skin or something like that. So it was very tricky. And sometimes I doubted. I said, what am I doing? Will this even, make sense? But I just want to tell the kids, I ended up working in aerospace for space missions. So it's very interesting that sometimes you feel like you don't have a role model, but what you need to do is to keep just pushing, keep going, just put your head high and just keep going, and you finally get to your destination. Thank you so much, Sela. And all you guys, I would love to have you again, just to hang out and just enjoy, share with our viewers, share with our kids and mothers out there, so they can know that this is doable. It's something that any kid can do, if as long as they put just the passion towards it. So I really, really do appreciate Sela. And so see you soon. So please enjoy the show. You can go and still continue watching. So I'll try to bring in one guest that I have. And let's see, guys, again, if we can bring in Pavalo. Yeah, I think she's having a hard time connecting. I'm not sure if she can hear me. Hi, Monyake, Pavalo. I know I see you, but I don't see if you have connected or so. But guys, so we have a second team that I'm going to bring on. So I just wanted to also talk about myself, my STEM story. So my STEM story also starts from Zambia. I'm born from Zambia, and also I was interested in doing first production management, and I wasn't so sure. And so few opportunities back home that you wouldn't know, even you wouldn't even dream about. But one thing, when I came here, I could hear some of my friends, they used to tell me that you were very good in math. So I'm like, me? They're like, yes, you're very good in math. So I was like, maybe I can try to pursue engineering. So I went and took some prerequisites, and I scored very good in math, and I was put into the next calculus class. So that's how I was like, okay, I think this is doable. Sometimes we need a spark from another person. Sometimes we need a spark from mothers. Sometimes we need a spark from our spouses. Sometimes we need a spark from even just friends around, even neighbors. Remember, is it John? He mentioned that the neighbor said, you are very good, you can do it. So sometimes people ask me, is this only for girls, or it's so us men we can't participate? No, we need men in educating girls, including boys. We are all in this together. So, guys, we are back on second session, and I'm going to bring in Kenneth Magala. So, Kenneth Magala, I hope you can hear me. Hi, Kenneth. How are you? Thank you so much for coming, and I really do appreciate. I know you are very busy, but you have, decided to come and hang out with us, and my viewers are very, very excited to hear more about a physicist. So you guys enjoy. You guys ask questions, comment. Feel free to ask any question, please. Go ahead, Mr. Magal.
It's a privilege to be part of this program. I'm a physicist and also an electrical engineer.
Yes.
So I've majored much in applied physics. So what that means is that I'm applying that physics in electrical engineering. So I'm an applied physicist and electrical engineer.
Yes.
So at the moment, I'm focusing much in solar renewable energy. So mostly I focused much because my country had the problem with electricity and energy. So I thought, let me apply my physics in renewable energy, much in solar energy engineering. So that's my field of research at the moment.
Yes. Wow, that's interesting. I've never met a physicist. I've been so amazed about, how you, okay, it's all engineering, but I know people are like, oh, engineers. I also, when I see some engineers, I'm like, oh, that engineer. So I would like to hear, how did you start your STEM career, your STEM story? Please share with my viewers. They want to know how you started your STEM, and also girls and boys out there. How did the story start?
My father was in the medical field. He was a clinical officer.
Yes.
So being the son of a doctor, I had the goal of becoming a medical doctor.
Yes.
So my father nurtured me to be good in mathematics and science. So even when he died when I was in grade 9.
Wow. I'm sorry about
in
that.
Lundazi,
Yes.
Lundazi, that is in Eastern Province, Zambia. So I came to the Copper Belt. That's where I continued my Copper Belt province in Zambia here.
Yes.
That's why I continued my school. So I completed my grade 12, that is from 5. And then I had difficulties going to the university with funds. So what I did was that I used to do some short engineering courses.
Yes.
So the first short engineering course I did was metal fabrication.
Yes.
So I did. Then I was employed by Monarch Steel.
Yes, I
So
remember that one.
Okay. So I was employed by Monarch Steel. So I've been very inquisitive in what goes on where I am. So as people were welding, so I wanted to find out what makes the ultraviolet rays to be painful in the eyes when you just look at the weld itself. So my interest was what makes these rays when that spark goes in the eyes, what makes the eyes to pain.
Yes.
So I was interested. I want to research about that. So what field is going to help me to do that?
Wow.
So I continued. Working. Then I started evening classes with the University of Zambia, distance in electrical engineering.
Correct.
So I completed an engineering certificate with the University of Zambia. So they gave me that credential.
Yes.
And then I started also with Copperbelt University.
Yes.
So I ended up in the second year because I didn't have funds. My contract was terminated when I was working.
Yes.
So I started my own company in 2013.
Correct.
Much in the engineering.
Yes.
I was doing much in mechanical, that is metal fabrication, as well as the electrical installation. So I started working. Then I started saving. Then I said, I have to go now full time. I have to go back to the university.
Correct.
So that's when I went back to the university. I planned that now I'm going to do physics.
Wow.
So I'm not going back to electrical engineering. I'm going to do physics.
Wow.
So I majored in physics.
For the God.
So I majored in physics and then minored in mathematics. So I completed the Bachelor of Science in Physics and Math.
Yes.
So at that, when I was in the third year, that's when that answer came when the question which was asking what makes ultraviolet rays to be painful in the eye. So the question was answered.
Correct.
And then what drove me most was we ourselves as humans.
Mm-hmm.
What makes us live? What makes us live?
Yes.
So when I was doing, there is a course in the third year when you're doing physics. We call it atomic and nuclear physics.
Yes.
So so from there are some questions which were the Bible has answered, but I wanted to prove that even physics can answer such questions as why do we live a long period of time.
Yes.
So I came up, I discovered that within the atom itself, inside the atom, which makes up matter, because we are all matter here.
Yes. Yes.
So within the atom, in the middle of the atom, there is a nucleus.
Yes.
Now, within the nucleus, there we have the protons. So protons are positively charged. So under the principle of engineering, we know that like poles repel. So
yes.
So the question I was asking myself, if these protons they repel, why do they not destroy themselves? Because they are all positively charged.
Yes.
So I came to realize that there is a binding energy and nuclear binding energy which brings them together.
Mm-hmm.
If they were self-destructive, we couldn't be existing.
This is interesting. He's opening up our mind, guys. Let's listen. Let's concentrate what he's saying right now. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so I can discover that within the nucleus of an atom, there is what we call binding energy. So this binding energy holds the protons together so that they do not self-destruct. So if they self-destroy themselves, we cannot exist. So we do exist is because of that force which is within the nucleus of an atom. So I came to appreciate God because that is the wonder of creation itself. Yes. So that was when I was in the third year. But when I entered the fourth year, that's when we did now quantum physics. So quantum physics, I'm sure now is the most at the moment we're talking about quantum computing. So that's the most important course to be done at the bachelor's level.
Can you explain a little bit in simple terms what is quantum physics?
Okay, so maybe let me use photosynthesis. Okay, yes. So we know that plants make food using the process of photosynthesis. So photo means light. Mm-hmm. Okay, now photo means light, and light in quantum physics we have studied that it is not just a wave, but light comes as a packet.
Yes.
So that packet of light is what we call a quanta.
Correct.
You are getting me, right?
Yes.
Yes. So light is a wave. At the same time, it is also a particle which comes in form of a packet. Now, that packet of light is what we call a quanta. Now, the technology and the physics behind that is what we call quantum physics or quantum technology.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. So now, that one was established by Albert Einstein under the photoelectric effect in 1905.
Yes.
So that's why he was given the Nobel Prize in about 1950, 1915 somewhere there. But he established that he discovered that he came up with that in 1905.
Correct.
So it is there. That's why we have the photoelectric effect. That's why now the technology of solar energy comes from.
Correct.
It is from that discovery in physics.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's so interesting. So, Mr. Mgawa, there's a question that one lady is asking here. Her name is Kirsten Waria, my namesake. She's saying, what are the advantages of doing STEM?
Okay, so when the advantages of doing STEM is that when you do science, whether you when we still talk about science, we talk about biology, chemistry, and physics. These are the sciences, and maths. Yeah. So maths is at the last. So STEM is mathematics. So first sciences. So once you do these at the bachelor's level, if you say Bachelor of Science, you do them, it becomes easier to undertake an engineering research at a master's level. It becomes easier because you come to learn about a certain technology at elementary level, so you become like your mind becomes wide. So not only that, at the moment, the world is has advanced. So STEM, it helps us to initiate technologies which will help us to benefit ourselves in terms of life. For example, I'm talking about solar energy engineering. I came up with my friend who is also a physicist. When we were in there, we said we have to come and make a solar power plant, our own solar power plant.
Yes.
We want to sell electricity to the government. We want to be selling that electricity to the government. So my friend, him at first, he majored, he was at Northern Technical College.
Yes.
Now we're in the same class, we're doing physics together.
Yes.
So when we came up with this brain, and what we have already designed our plans. So we are looking for time when we have funds and to start now buying the components and come up with a plant. We want to target a rural town, not Kitwe or Lusaka, no, a rural town.
Mm-hmm.
We want
Yes.
to make a plant there and sell electricity to the government. So that's the beauty of STEM. So STEM helps us to come up with technologies which will help the country and also helps ourselves both in industry as well as in the academic, as well as being academician. So that's the beauty about STEM.
Wow.
Not only that,
Mm-hmm. Go
so
ahead.
not only that, someone who has done STEM, I'm sure the mind has just become too, I can say, he's an intellectual. So your reasoning is more advanced. In other ways, it's more advanced. Of course, yes. School also helps us to be humble. You can know a lot of things, but being humble also helps us to learn a lot of things from others, because a human being cannot know everything. So we also we learn from others also.
And that's
the beauty.
And that is collaboration. And you know what? You just pointed out a very good point. STEM unlocks our brain in such a way that you can understand your environment than ever before. It's amazing. And then you start developing these ideas. You're like, I can fix this, I can fix this. But the only thing that's going to hinder you is finances. So it really unlocks not only human beings, but it unlocks the economy of tomorrow. Tomorrow, there's so much technology that's advancing, especially the technology has advanced in the past 2 decades so tremendously that the world at large will need so many engineers, scientists to solve these problems. Look at pandemics, the type of coronavirus that we have right now, and how it's virulent and how it's just mutating, things like that. So we'll need advanced technology to unlock our brains and to think, how can we solve these problems? So that's part of STEM. And oh my goodness, I really, really do appreciate Mr. Mangal. And everybody has been talking about very interesting things. It's like I have to bring you back, you guys, again. But I have some more people to speak. I think I have another one, and I just want to say thank you so much, Mr. Maga, and I'll bring you back definitely again, because we are not done with this physics. Our brain need to open a lot with this physics thing.
All right, now we'll be looking for it. In fact, they say physics is hard, but it's it's one of the most interesting field or sub, because it's just wonderful.
Yes, and
to be a
yes,
to be a physicist, To be a physicist, you become like Albert Einstein. You become like Louis de Broglie, Max Planck. These are the masters of modern technology. So
Exactly,
it's so
exactly.
nice. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And that's why our young kids need to know that it's interesting. These things, I don't know who scares them that it's difficult. But we need to encourage our young girls, mothers out there, that any girl, any boy can pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And thank you so much. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. So I am going to add in Pavalo Moniake. Thank you so much for your patience and you're trying. I was like, oh, please, she should come in. She should come in. So thank you, Pavalo. Please introduce yourself and let's go from there.
Oh, hi, everybody. I'm also excited. I've been struggling with network. My name is Pavalo Monyake, and I'm from Lesotho.
Yes.
And I've studied Bachelor of Science in Chemistry and Biochemistry. And I'm currently working in a cannabis pharmaceutical company as a quality assurance officer.
Yes.
So I started thinking about STEM when I think, in grade 10, when we had to choose. There were 3 classes, which were accounting classes, science classes, and agric sciences. So we
Yes.
had to choose which classes do we go for. And I just
Right.
didn't imagine anything other than being a chemist or having a white coat, thinking of a solution or anything like that.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's when I started following STEM. I just, and when I'm growing up, I just recognize STEM is everything because we it's everything. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
as I've just said, I'm working where we are different scientists still finding ways to find medication by cannabis and we need people like mathematicians, physicists, and yeah, so many different scientists. So that is how I joined STEM.
Wow, wow, that's interesting. Again,
Yeah.
you guys, she's bouncing from, you said Lesotho, right?
Yeah.
Yes, she's bouncing from Lesotho. So happy to have you. I'm really so excited to meet you.
Thank
And I
you.
was excited. I was like, oh my God, that's a girl. That's like me. Let's do this. No, we really
I
do
was also
appreciate.
happy.
I know you were having a little bit of network trouble. I said, wow, I hope she comes in. No,
Yeah.
thank you so much for having you. I know you're a very busy person. Guys, she's a scientist, in quality. So, we are so privileged to have her and so that she can share her STEM story. So, can you tell us how did that spark, how did it start? That I know you did say a little bit about it, but how did that finally start and how did you navigate up to where you are in details? Can you share with us so that our viewers, some girls out there, boys, they can see that, even if there are struggles there, here and there, we go through those, but we still become, these engineer scientists, that can bless the world, that can make a better place for human beings, that can make human beings live longer and have a healthy life. So can you just explain a little bit about your STEM journey? I'm excited to hear
Oh,
that.
yeah. I think when I was a bit young in primary school, I didn't really think I would be a scientist. But I saw my cousin brother who was following his passion in IT. And then he just told me that I can be anything I want.
Wow.
So yeah, I that is when I started to think, okay, because my grades were not that good, but as he encouraged me and I improved at school, that is when I recognized that yeah, everybody can be whatever they want. I'm not going to settle for less.
That is a very good point that you've made.
Yeah.
And so continue, but I just want to tell the viewers that that is a very good point that you made, that someone tells you then your brain just switches and says, oh, so I can do this, you know.
Mm,
So continue,
mm.
continue, Pamba.
Yeah, so that is how I recognize that I can be everything, anything that I want. And so he also liked science. He would tell me how everything started. I think, yes, I didn't like the fact that he was an atheist, but he
Yes,
kind
but
of made it interesting for me. I kind of liked the solutions that he came up with, the way he sometimes uh kind of helped me with academics and find solutions. And then
yes,
when I saw my grades going up, and then I recognized, it is possible that I
it's
can be
possible.
whatever
Yes,
that I want. And then when I went to high school, chemistry was something that it it is like the moment when we could mix things and form compounds out of some things, and then I would just see that everything is possible. Magic, like science is magic. So
yes.
that is when I just kind of loved it, and I just knew that I'm not going to separate from chemistry. So yeah, that is
Yes.
how the spark came in.
Wow, that's interesting. And what I would want to say is the good thing about STEM, it gives you this freedom to explore your imagination, you know,
Mhm.
to explore your
Yeah.
imagination. And also, it gives you the freedom to make mistakes. You know, you will
Mm-hmm.
make mistakes, and sometimes it won't work, sometimes it fails. And the good thing, when you start being in STEM, you want to find out why, not only that it failed, you know, but why did it fail.
Mm, mm,
Yes,
mm. That
why
is
did it
very
fail? And
true.
then when you find out why did it fail, then you keep going, you keep digging, you keep digging. So that's kind of interesting. Wow, no, that's really, really interesting. So I have another question for you. So what what do you really enjoy about your field right now, like your career right now? What's more intriguing about it?
Um, what I really enjoy about my career as a quality assurance officer,
Hmm.
um, it is ensuring that the final product out of STEM,
Yes,
the
yes,
final product out of STEM, it's really safe to use. It is of high quality, and it is going to have an impact, a positive impact
correct.
in people out there.
Yes,
So I really, really enjoy my career. I really, really enjoy my profession because I try to engage in production, see if they're
yes,
really doing what is right,
yes.
and also engage and make sure that in quality side, the final product is always having a positive impact on the consumers. So
Yes, yes.
yeah, STEM is everything.
You
Yeah.
know, it just unlocks so many things. And what I enjoy about STEM also is just to be around people who are making decisions. For example, in my job, I work in aerospace, you know, just to be around people who are making decisions and to see how they are thinking. Then and then I realize, oh, it aligns with what I've been thinking, because now
Mm-hmm.
I see them from in the room. They are talking about these things, how we are solving these issues when we have a problem. So that is just so amazing. I enjoy that part more than anything else, to see how they're figuring out things in the room. And by the time you get out, the problem is solved already. By the time you are getting out, it's just amazing how STEM is, you know, it unlocks the future. It just unlocks, you know, it helps, it makes our lives better, it improves our lives, you know. You talk about our lives increasing, you know, instead of mortality rate to be below 50, you know, because
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
STEM, we are able to improve, you know, our lives. Even look in the pandemic right now, if it
Mm.
wasn't for the vaccine, where are we going to be right now? You
Yeah,
know,
that
we,
is true.
we can't. So that's why we need to make sure that our future generation, our girls, our boys, they can get involved and become scientists and we need a lot of them. Why? Because technology also is evolving so much, and also remember, problems are also increasing, they are not reducing.
Mm.
So the more you advance in technology, and also just people are advancing, their problems, and we also need more engineers to work on, engineers and scientists to work on those problems. So that's very interesting. No, I really, really do appreciate Pavalo. I hope I'm pronouncing your
Yeah,
name.
you,
No, I really, really do appreciate. So I just want to say, I think we're going to come at the end of this STEM hangout. And I'm not sure if, because I had some more guests out there. If you are there, please come in, come in. But if not, I would like Pambalo is going to tell us something, what she thinks, how we can encourage girls to pursue STEM and boys. So can you tell us something, and what do you see in the future? So you'll be the last person to say something on this program.
um, um, what I would like to say is, um, the future lies on young generation, which are our young girls and our young boys. And like we have already talked about COVID-19, without vaccines or without innovation from STEM or without those ideas from scientists and technologists and many people, we wouldn't be surviving. So our future lies in those young girls and boys, and if they can believe that the future lies in them, and if they can believe that they can be anything they want, then I believe that with that knowledge they would be able to change the world out there. They would be able to make advanced machines and produce more advanced medications for us to survive out there. They'll be able to make a change. So it's all in them. They should just study and believe in themselves and, yeah, learn from different platforms like this one. So, yeah, that is what
Yes.
I think they
Oh,
should
thank you
do.
so much. I really appreciate. Again, here we encourage girls, boys. We are all in this together to pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I promise you, my viewers, you'll be listening from these women navigating science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, women and men. You'll be hearing from them again. I hope you can come again, Pambal, to come, and we can do more chats and more talks, so our viewers can hear more about what's going out there. I really do appreciate. And guys, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for watching. And we're going to end this session, and thank you so much, and bye. Thank you, guys.